Andy, aka Googleman, and let's have a look at my new inbox setup.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Googleman. Hi guys, and welcome back to aka Googleman. So what we're going to do today is have a quick look at how I now set up my Gmail inbox and how I process emails, and more specifically about how I label and filter them. Because I've set things up so that some things are done for me and they're categorized for me as soon as they enter my inbox, whether that's from deleting things I don't want anymore, putting them out of the way, and all that kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to go from a default inbox setting. I'm going to show you where all the different settings are that you need to change. Now, this does link back to a Gmail settings video I did do before, and I'll link that video for you above and below, and it shows you a bit more generally how things are set up, but this is going to be a little bit more specific, kind of more like the kind of role that I'm doing now as Googleman. So as you can see on my screen here, this is a default inbox setting, okay? I've got the primary, social, and promotions tabs along the top here, and there are emails in some and not in others. But even though if I go into the social tab, there are 5 unread emails in here, but I don't actually have anything that indicates that at that point, okay? If I haven't processed those from a singular list, then the fact that they are there and says how many are new disappears entirely. Now, I don't want that. I want things to be more organized for me to be able to see. So let's set all these things up to allow me to do that. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time in my settings menu. Okay, so I'm going to go to the settings scope and see all settings. The first thing I want to do is decide what categories I'm going to have these emails fall into. Now, you could set up as many of these as you want. Okay, I'm just going to set up a few basic ones here. For that, I'm going to go to the labels tab in the settings. Now, what you can see I've already done here is down this system labels section, I've basically hidden almost all of them, because otherwise you get this kind of very cluttered section here with all of the sections, even if there are no emails in them. Okay, it's removing visual clutter and removing distractions. The only one I've left kind of not hidden is the spam folder, and I've left that as show as unread. So what this means is that if I do get an email into the spam folder, maybe it's gone in there by mistake, and I don't get it in my main inbox, obviously, but I get the little icon appear on the left-hand side here to tell me that I've got a spam email that I might need to double check over. If I then scroll further down, you can see I've got other things hidden, and then I've got a label that I've created called training, which is also hidden. Okay, the reason for that being hidden will become apparent when we start doing other labels as well. But I'm going to leave that as hidden, and what I'm also going to do is add some more labels here as well. So I'm going to click on create new label. First one's going to be called manager. I'm then going to create one called comments. Another one in here, I'm just going to call meet. I'll then go for another one called info, and then a last label I'm going to create for now. And again, you could have more or less if you like. It's called mail list. Okay, and all of these will have a purpose within all of this. The next thing I want to do is when I'm processing emails, and I've done an entire video on how to process emails and included a couple of things that I might mention in here as well. Okay, I'll link that video for you above and below. When I now process emails, I do it in a slightly different way, and I use the auto advanced feature in Gmail. So to that, I go to my advanced tab here, and it's the top option here, auto advanced, and I'm going to enable that. It's normally set to disable. What this means is that when I'm done in an email and I've processed it and I've relabeled it and archived it, or I've snoozed it, or I've deleted it, whatever I'm doing, it will take me to the next email in the chain. Now, depending on how you do this, if you start from the bottom of the list up, which is what I do, you will set it to the next newest. If you go from the top down, which I know some people do, then you'll go to the next oldest. What I need to do from here is just save the changes. Okay, and it will make sure my labels are there, and it will also save my auto advance setup as well. I'll then need to go back into the settings menu to tell it which way I want to go once I'm done processing an email with the auto advance feature. Okay, what I'll also be doing there is then setting up my new inbox setting to how I want it to look. So from here, I'm going to go to my settings cog again in the top right and go back into see all settings once it finally appears. It's still loading. What can I say? It's feeling a little bit slow today. There we go, see all settings. I'm going to start off in the general tab because that is where the auto advance feature is in the menus now. I don't need to go back to advanced. That's just to turn the thing on. Okay. So once I'm there, I just need to scroll down ever so slightly and I get to auto advance here after archiving, deleting, muting, etc. conversation. I want it to go to the next newer conversation, because that's what will happen. I'll start at the old list and then get newer as we go along. I will leave that there. If you go the other way, you go to the previous older conversation, but I'm leaving that as it is. I just wanted you to see it. Now what I'm going to do is create the inbox view that I want. So I'm going to go to the inbox tab in here, okay? It's set to default at the moment, as you saw. I want it to be multiple inboxes. I've done this before, but I have more to add into this, okay? So in this particular section here, I'm going to have a snoozed is going to stay in there. Now the search query column here is what you wanted to search for. Like if you were searching up in the top bar here, this is what you would ask it for, and it is snoozed. But I'm going to change the name from snoozed to waiting because that's what I now use it for. The next one is training. This one is going to stay exactly the same. I still have that label and I have the upcoming training kind of like title for that section of the inbox. The next section is going to be my manager label. So I'll type in L to tell it I want to search for a label and then manager. Okay. And then I'll just give it a name, line manager, emails. The next section down is then going to be my comment. So I go L colon comment, and this is going to be for YouTube comments. Okay, I'm not going to put anything in section 5 for this because they are going to be out on the side if I want it to be there. I'll tell you one thing I haven't done yet, apart from not spell comments correctly. Don't follow my example. I need to go back to my labels because I have failed to do one thing. So in the new labels that I've created, I've currently left them all as shown. I don't want them to stay that way. Comments, info, the manager, and the meet labels, I actually want to hide those, okay? I only want them to be there for me to access when I want them, or if I've put them into this multiple inbox. The only one I'm going to change that is mail list, okay? I'm going to put that to show if unread. That will become clearer later on. I'm just going to double check my inbox settings as they are correct. I'm going to scroll down and go to save changes. Okay, so this will now reload my inbox with the new setup ready to go. Okay, so as you can see, I now have my full list of emails in one place, and I have my waiting, upcoming training, line manager emails, and YouTube comments, kind of like boxes, labels over on the right-hand side here. And now I can start deciding what I'm going to do with them. I want to make sure that anything that goes automatically onto the right-hand side there is sort of like color-coded so it's visual for me to see. Waiting, I'm not too concerned about, or the upcoming training, but the line manager emails and the comments, I want to make them visual for when something goes in. So I'm going to come over to this side here, okay, go to my little drop down for more, and scroll down until I get to these. So my manager, I'm going to click the 3 dots here, label, color, I'm going to change that to red. I'm then going to go back in and find the comments label, 3 dots again, and change that to blue. So when my emails go in there, I'll have a blue label there as well, just as a visual cue that they have appeared. Okay, next step is going to be filtering these emails, because I could go through these and label them manually, but I'm not going to do that because some of these things I want to go into a place where I can have a kind of like set of time set aside to kind of process them separately. So I'm going to use some keyboard shortcuts in here. Okay, so I'm going to use the / to take me to the search bar, tab for the down arrow, and then hit enter. So what I'm after now is I'm going to filter my line manager emails. Okay, and obviously this is not actually going to be my normal line manager, but I'm going to search for from the email that is mocking up as my line manager in this case. Okay, and that's very, very simple. It's just from that email address, nothing else to worry about. Next, I want all the emails from that person to come to there. I then search for that, and I should get this one result in here. All right. What I can then do is go back to my drop-down menu and click on Create Filter. What I want this to do is I want it to skip the inbox. I don't want it to be marked as red. I don't want that in there. I want to apply the label Manager. Okay. Make sure that it never gets sent to spam. I don't want those things to happen. Okay. And also apply to the matching message that is in there. Okay. I'm then going to click on Create Filter. What this will then do is if I go GI, this will take me back to my main inbox. Okay, it will say my filter has been created. It has a little bit of a think about it. Okay, but what you will see is now in my line manager section, it will appear in a moment. There will be an email filtered in there. It's still unread. Okay, and I will see that it will also be color coded the right color as well. Okay, that will appear in a moment. You see the drop down arrow there, and there it is. Okay, and every time a new email appears from my line manager, it will appear in there. I then do the same thing now. I want to do this to YouTube comments. Okay, so /tab and enter. I want this to cut to be from no reply. Okay, at youtube.com, because that's where they are coming from. And in the subject, I want new comment, nothing else in there. I then search that, and I should now come up with this set of emails here. Okay, again, I go to my drop down and create filter. Same thing, I want to skip the inbox. I don't want to mark it as red. I'm going to apply the label comments, and it will put it into that comment. Never send to spam, and apply the filter to the matching messages. Create filter. It has a little bit of think about it, and then it will apply. It'll create and apply that filter to those emails, and it'll send those into my comment box on the right side. Okay, GI to take me back to my main inbox. That's having to think about the YouTube comments. There they go, they disappear. Fantastic stuff. Okay, and as you can see on the left hand side here, my comments box has got a show if unread thing over there, so that has appeared on my left hand side there as well. Now what I want to be able to do is start thinking about how I'm going to use the other parts of this as well. Okay, and this is going to be now manual labeling. So I'm going to go into this first email here. Okay, so I go into there. This is just a random email. I don't want to read it right now. Okay, but I might in the future. I'm just going to hit E to archive that email. It will go into there, and I will look at it when I'm ready. It will automatically, as you can see, it's taken me to the next email inbox. It's not gone back to there, so it's removed this little bit of friction. Please can you send me some info on this, please? And I'll do this now. So what I can do with that is I just need to reply to that email. Yes, I can. Here is the date, 19th April. Let's just put that in so it can be whatever it needs to be. You might have that information to hand. Click send on there, and then I'm going to archive that email because I do want to keep it just in case I need to send any more information to the next one. I need you to gather information for the upcoming project, please. So this is something that is going to take longer for me to do. Thinking about our processing email, this is a bigger task. Now I need to contact people in order to make this happen. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go Shift and T to add this email to my task list, because this is a bigger task than just me looking at one singular piece of information. I would then go in and change the date and things like that. I've done videos on Google Tasks before. I will link the main one for you above and below. From there, what I would also do is click into my main thing here and send an email to the people I need to gather information from. Okay. So let's just do that. Send those in. Info, please. Hi, send me info, and then we'll send that. Now, once that is sent, what I want to be able to do is kind of like monitor when that's coming in and know if I need to follow it up. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to press on GT to send me to the sent emails folder. Now, what you can see is I've got this info please in here. I press X to select that email, and then L to bring up the label option. I'm then going to go to, oh no, I'm not. That's completely wrong. I'm not labeling it at all. I'm actually going to snooze that email. I've got my thing wrong in my own head. I'm going to snooze that email till later today. So then if I haven't had a reply by this evening, I could follow up with that email. Okay. I will then go back to my inbox and go back to that bottom email. In a moment, in the waiting folder, that snoozed email will then appear so I can check over when it needs to be, and actually it will appear back in my inbox as well, so I will want to have a running list of what I'm waiting for. Okay, I've sent that email to gather the information. I've added it to my task list. I need to keep it, so I'm going to archive that email. Next up, please generate a task plan for the new project and share with me ASAP. This is just a straight up task. I will add that to my task list. Okay, I will set a date and then I will archive that email. Training. Please can you provide some group training on how to manage emails in Gmail? Well, look at that. I'm doing that right now. This is one that, yes, I would do. At this point, I would set a calendar request out to the people that will be involved in this. I would probably reply to this email saying, yes, of course, I will send a cal invite. And then I would just send that reply. I would then do my calendar invite, but there will probably be more information about specific needs in this particular email. So now I will press the L button to bring up my labels list, and then I will type in training and apply that label. Okay, and then I will archive that email. It will put it into my training folder for later on. So this email here is imagining that I've already sent out the calendar request for this training session so people know when it is going to be, and this particular person has accepted that request. Now, actually, I don't need to know who has accepted that invitation, because I'm just going to work on the assumption that if they've got the request, they have accepted it. And actually, I can go into calendar to get a full list of names later on, rather than having my inbox clogged with perhaps dozens of invitees to this meeting. What I do need to see are the ones that have declined that invitation request, so I can contact them separately or send them extra information following that meeting, so that they can stay kind of up to date with what's gone on. So what I need to do here is filter out any email that is an accept for the invitation. So I'm going to go to my search again, so the / and then tab, so I can access my advanced search. What I'm going to do into here is include the words. Okay, I'm going to go file name, okay, and colon invite.ics, because when you look at these emails, there is a document in there called invite.ics. Okay, and I also want to filter out anything that has the word accepted, because what this will do, as long as you spell the word accepted correctly, is any email then that contains the file name invite.ics and contains the word accepted, okay, will get filtered. So now if I search for that, there you go. As you can see here, there is that email from here, okay? And there was another one just down below it, you can see. So with this, I'm now going to create the filter that goes along with this. I want to skip the inbox. I want to mark as unread. I don't want to send it to spam, and apply it to everything else. This will just completely archive. It will skip the inbox. I won't even see that it is there, okay? Really quick and really, really simple. It means that you don't need to look for all of these things. I'm going to go back to my inbox. Hasn't quite created my filter yet. There it goes, and it is now gone from my inbox. Now, the label I haven't spoken about yet is my mail list email, mail list label. And this is something where you can really take advantage of a feature which essentially allows you to have infinite aliases for your Gmail address. So whenever you sign up for any kind of newsletter or mailing list, you will always get an email, and it might clutter your inbox. You want to see the information that's in there, okay, but you want to read it in your own time, okay? And by using infinite aliases, you can do just that, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my search, and in the to section, okay, I'm going to put obviously the beginning of my email address, okay, and I'm going to put a plus and then mail and then the rest of my email address. Now what Gmail does is it completely ignores anything in between the plus symbol and the @ symbol, okay? So even though it links it to this particular Gmail address, it won't actually, it reads it as something different, okay? So when you go onto other websites, it allows you to filter these ones out, because you could create a filter for each newsletter you sign up to. But if you sign up to lots of them, okay, after this point, okay, you're going to have lots and lots of extra work to do. And what you can then do with this is, once you have created your filter, so I click on there, create filter, skip the inbox, apply label mail list, okay, never send it to spam, okay, there's no emails in there at the moment, I will just then create that filter. When I then sign up for something, so let's say, for example, I'm signing up to the googleman mail list, okay, in here, I'll put all my normal information, okay? We know I'm Andy. I'm not telling you that. No, you don't get that one just yet. In my email address here, I'm going to put aka.googleman, and then the add mail into there before I finish off the email address. Now, what this will do is, when emails come from this particular mail list, it is going to the akagoogleman plus mail address, not my main inbox, and my Gmail will find and filter that directly, okay? And when the email comes in, okay, then you will be able to kind of immediately have that filtered out. You will get the little dot over here, so your mail list is set to show if unread, okay, and it will appear over there, but it's not your main inbox. You're not going to get distracted by it. You go in when you are ready. Okay, that's it for today's video. I hope that you have found it useful and that you can start applying some of these things to your own Gmail inbox straight away. If you like what you see in this video or liked what you've seen, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please click on the subscribe button. And if you really want to hear more information from me, check out my website. You can contact me on there. And there's also a mail list now for you to subscribe to as well. So I will see you all in my next video. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, stay well, stay safe. Googleman out.